Like all things in this house, as we will go round it, nothing was really pre-planned. Hi, I'm Lucy Abel Smith, and this is how I live with style. This house, this old rectory, is on the banks of the River Colne in the heart of the now almost too fashionable Cotswolds. It belonged to the Church of England until 1928, when my husband's family bought it from the church, and we have lived there ever since. Under my mother-in-law's day, the furniture was pure repro British brown, and altogether it was rather a sad room and not exactly vibrant for parties. I think as she lived next door to us, happily, and I used to find her with groups of her friends going round the house saying, "Look what they've done, isn't it dreadful?" And anyway, we went on with it. We decided to copy our wonderful 1140s church doors, which are just over the road, which gave the theme of the Middle Ages. Complete spoof, and it's the lives of St. Lucy and St. David all the way round. My husband commissioned Fred Bear, whose furniture we've got quite a lot of round the house. He's an extraordinary artist and craftsman, and so he experimented with these colours, and I wanted a dining room table that was split 4 ways to be able to cope with guests coming in and out, which my husband loved, and this is what I got. Fred also then pointed out that we couldn't possibly afford to buy chairs by him, so he got sort of cheaper chairs, but his wife, Lucy Strachan, did the finials. So it makes it very easy for placing at a party, because you say, go to horse's head, go to frog, you're next door to elephant, etc. David, my husband, loved hot glass, that is blown glass. I tended to go for cast glass, but we had enormous fun collecting it all together. Like all things in this house, as we will go round it, nothing was really pre-planned. We're now in one of my favourite rooms, the drawing room. It looks out south, and it looks out over the Mill Race, which is a tributary of the Colne River, which is just slightly beyond that. It's wonderful light, makes it absolutely perfect for showing off ceramics, glass, paintings, textiles, anything you like, and it's a great party room too. The piano is immovable. People squidge in here, they say it's a bit like sitting in a Wizz Air seat. The sculpture show has added immeasurably to our lives. Every 2 years we have opened the garden to artists, their work, and the general public, and it has grown to between 8,000 and 10,000 visitors, but it has also given us enormous pleasure as well. In this room we've had some spectacular parties, as well as more sombre moments. As my husband said, he'd never leave this house until he left it foot first. Actually, his coffin laid to rest in this room until it went over to the church for his funeral. He drank white ladies round it.
What's that?
Oh, it's cocktail. He was a great cocktail maker. I'm sitting in the library, which was built from start to finish in 2007. And it started as an idea at a picnic just under the adjacent Copper Beach, when I was sitting next to the architect, Michael Gold. Lots of our guests hadn't turned up, they were late, and I was moaning the lack of space for books. And he said, I will design you a library, which was enormously kind as a thank you for the lunch. It was fine. It was shown at the Royal Academy as a design, But then David, my husband, said, I want to leave something to the house, and so he was determined to build the library. I thought it was much more sensible to save up for our pensions, but in actual fact he was right. It has given us huge pleasure. It's not only a library, of course, but it's a place where we come and have parties, we've put on small plays and had concerts, and indeed when we have the fete here, very often the local primary school children come and sing as the doors are open. And here we are, the perfect auditorium, as long as it's not raining. Well, this is my bedroom, which is directly above the drawing room, my favourite room in the house. This is my next favourite room in the house, again because of the light and because of its ambience and its colours of this lilac and bright orange, which were inspired by the two pieces of Bugatti furniture and the mirrored furniture around the room, which were very much a passionate love of my husband's, but they lend a sort of exoticism to it. And because I enjoyed the work of Norma Stasna-Karna, who's this great fabric maker, designer, she came off the train from London, came very quickly, did some sketches, immediately did a colour scheme, including the orange and the lilac, and then this surprising dry pink colour as well. She designs the balance for the bed, the pillowcases. I mean, she just ran riot, really, to enormous effect, I think. The joy of collecting with your husband or whoever, your partner, is the play-off against each other. He had a particular penchant for the work of the 1930s, and he happened to love Bugatti. I love wacky jewellery. One of my most favourite pieces, my single chair earring, I bought in the Modern Art Museum in Stockholm. I couldn't afford two. They were rather expensive, and so one just suits, and it is just more fun. And because of my love of interesting jewellery, I commissioned Fred Bear to design me a bauble box, and it's a one-off. We're now in the kitchen, which from the early days of moving into this house, because I'm such an untidy cook, we commissioned this screen by a neighbour, Sally Politzer. Behind me is David's aunt, taken before the First War, 1910. She and her sisters and her mother were all painted by the same artist. But I think it's quite jolly having Aunt Violet dancing round the kitchen table when she was about 16. I do a lot of cooking. There's a very large vegetable garden run by Robert Wyatt, who's been here for 40 years, and I make pickles and jams and anything that comes through the door, really. One's heart sinks at, broad bean time. I think a vegetable garden today is one of the great luxuries of the Western world, because it is so time-consuming to run, but there is nothing like fresh vegetables you've grown yourself. Other people go to Pilates or to meditation classes. I like making soup. The red colour was chosen really based on the lacquer screens, and I love Japanese art. I love Edo art in particular. Carrie Mortimer has done the most incredible job on the back of the screens with proper Japanese lacquer and gesso, and we chose artichokes from the garden and French beans, and I think it works very well, rather like a medieval herbal. Well, goodbye everybody. I do hope you've enjoyed your visit to Quennington Old Rectory and its very diverse collections. One thing I would love you please to take away from what you have just seen is a sense of the joy of collecting and craftsmanship and art, and that there are really no holes barred, and just take enormous pleasure in it. Goodbye.